Hi, this is Mashup, and this is your weekly reading for Monday, March 30th through Sunday, April 5th. So I'm using the new camera, but I haven't quite figured out how to get my mics to cooperate with it, so I sound a little like I'm in a tin can. If you like tin cans, that's awesome, but anyway, sorry if it's a little bit echoey. But there's a lot going on this week, so let's get on to the reading. Last week, I was sort of talking about serenity in terms of an inner serenity, the ability to achieve an inner poise. But I think this week, what's going to happen is we'll be challenged to take that poise into the outside world with us and try to maintain it, which, I think, as we all know, can be difficult. The Pluto-Uranus square in the middle of March has created lots of ripples. I know of a lot of extremely dramatic things happening in people's lives. And I'm glad that this week the astrology is not too crazy so that we have some time to deal with the aftermath. And I expect there will be ripples still. Plus we had the solar eclipse and the super new moon at the equinox. So there are plenty of effects out there happening. And it's sort of our ability to cope with those that's being called upon this week, as far as I can tell. So here's what's happening in the heavens. The moon on the 30th is going to move into Leo, which should represent emotionally kind of an expansive mood. It can be a mood of knowing your own worth, which is wonderful, but I'll also talk about the downside of that if you take it too far. Then the moon's going to proceed through Virgo and into Libra by the end of the week, and that's good. Both those signs are kind of sensitive, grounded signs. They're sensitive to people, but they're grounded and kind of practical. And so I think that should help, I hope, provide some support. Mars on the 1st is going to join Venus in Taurus. Venus loves being in Taurus, loves the sensuality of Taurus and the material abundance of Taurus, and Mars is getting out of Aries where it was firing things up along with Mercury and Uranus. Having all those there in Aries really created a firestorm kind of feeling. So having Mars move into more grounded Taurus is actually kind of a good thing. But again, the Mars energy in Taurus can start addressing its warrior nature towards physical possessions. So if we look at Mars and Taurus looking around going, well, why don't I have those things? I want those things. I should have those things. And the moon in Leo sort of supporting a sense of self-worth. You can see that there may be a potential for toxic comparison or jealousy or those kinds of feelings to get out of hand if we're not looking out for them. So on to the I Ching. The I Ching for the week, after I rolled the dice, sorry, I'm having to run around to get it, is number 10, treading. Let me hold this so you can see it. So treading can also be called, and they use this word on this card, let me get up close so you can see it here, conduct. So if you see, this woman is walking under the moon in these very sort of troubled waters, if you will. She's walking along a tightrope. Now she looks, as she walks this tightrope, to be rather calm. I mean, she's got her hands folded in front of her. She looks like she's managing it quite well. But there is the sense that, she's got to be rather careful. So here we see self-awareness, proceed with caution and sensitivity, correct behavior, and act responsibly. And you see that, she has the moon and the reflection of the moon. So she can see a reflection back at her, but she's not doing this for a crowd. She's basically needing to do it for her own approval, and I think that's kind of what's happening here. If you look at the trigrams here, it's sky or heaven over lake, which I think of as a sword over a cup energy. So the sword can be decisive and incisive, but it can also be dominating. So when sword is over cup, You want to be sure that you're not trying to dominate other people's emotions, but that instead you're using your sensitivity to be incisive, to be discerning. And that's what's being called for here in treading. So I pulled 3 random tarot cards, and I am so excited to have them from the Hoi Polloi deck. This was actually, I just got this deck, but this was the deck that I started with. I didn't get it new. Somebody, I think, regifted it to me. But look at this total awesome 70s kind of look. It was sold by a company called Hoi Polloi, and you can see it's a Rider-Waite clone deck, but it's got these really bright Technicolor sort of drawings where it looks like an old color by numbers blacklight poster, where you get the poster and you could color it in and then, hang it on your wall with concert, posters and album covers and stuff like that. So it's very awesome and very 70s. So I thought I would, I'm so happy to have it since mine got lost, I don't know where. And so I'm really happy to have it back. I bought it used, but it's in really good condition. The cards are in beautiful condition. And so I'm happy to read it for you. Now, you'll notice in the Hoi Polloi deck, we've got these keys on the back. And so you can see what's going to be upright and reversed. And in the Hoi Polloi little white book, which is actually sort of parchment colored, I'll show you. Everything's kind of parchment colored. A lot of the reverses are extremely negative, and this is the first book that I learned from when I was sort of memorizing the meanings, and I didn't understand the suits or the elements or colors or numbers, and so it was just straight memorization, and then I would panic when I had to do a reading. But this is the deck that I used in high school to do readings at like the high school carnival to benefit the Spanish club. So I have lots of fond memories, and I'm very happy to have one back. Now, of course, the way I think of reverses is quite different. Reverses can be delay. Reverses can be the sort of yin or inner aspect of a situation versus the yang or external aspect. So definitely not all as negative as that little white book would have you think. So let's see what we have for the week. Again, I tend to read these all together rather than just, as one day at a time. Okay, so here they are in all their glory, and I will hold them up so you can see them. The 6 of Cups often indicates looking back in your past, because I think there's an energy towards dealing with social pressures. My thought is with the 6 of Cups, you're going to deal with people from your past this week. So it could be family you haven't seen, it could be friends you haven't seen, could be, I don't know, think of the vibe of a high school reunion. You're going to be facing people you haven't seen in a while, and while you're introducing yourselves to each other, there's going to be this thought, well, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? And the comparisons that you feel between yourselves and them, that's what you kind of want to watch out for, with the Mars and Taurus going, well, what do they have and what do I have? And with the Moon and Leo saying, well, what do I deserve? So this is the kind of thing where you want that meeting with people from your past to be harmonious and generous. The 6 of Cups upright shows this generous energy. But I think that's something to, be cautious about. And I think that's where the idea of treading and good conduct and poise is going to come in. So here is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And if I look at it upright, you can see here he is waiting for his harvest. We've got green leaves and brown leaves, so some of the stuff's going to come out okay, and some of it maybe not, but he's being patient here. Here usually means you're being impatient with results. So let's say you've set a bunch of stuff in motion that you think will have concrete results in your life, and you've done it in this sort of Mars and Aries and springtime energy, but you haven't seen the results yet, and probably you're not going to for a while. There may be a feeling that you need to push it, or you need to oversell it, or you need to hype it. You don't need to. It's all happening. You don't need to be impatient with that energy. It's all happening, and you've done the work. And in fact, the 9 of Cups upright really emphasizes that energy. The 9 of Cups is often also called the wish card. So this says, look, you're getting your wish. But the Nine of Cups, because this is traditionally thought of as a tavern keeper, he can also be thought of as somebody with a full house, right? So here you are in a situation like a busy, rowdy tavern with a bunch of people, and you are being put on the spot, potentially, about what you've done with your life. What have you done? What do you have to show for yourself? This is not the week to feel like you have to brag or like you have to explain. This is the week to maintain a lot of poise for yourself. When I did the I Ching, the numbers that came up very strongly to get, see here, to get the sky or heaven above. Let's see if I can get this in focus. There we go. To get the sky or heaven above, those numbers, I got the Emperor 4 very strongly. And then in both, and I got that in both trigrams. And I also got the Lovers twice. So the Emperor 3 times, the Lovers twice, which tells me basically you are in charge of your emotions and you can make choices about them. But it may not feel great to do it, and there may not be anybody to notice or to applaud you. You know, you may feel like, look at this great trick. I'm walking the tightrope. I'm actually doing it, and there is no one here but the moon to see me. But realize that the universe, which is watching you, and yourself, your higher self, which is keeping track of your progress, notices that you're doing well. And also other people you may not even realize will notice and hopefully take a cue from you if this is a social situation, that if you maintain your dignity, hopefully other people will maintain theirs. Oh, how we hope. So I thought I was going to pull an oracle card for the week, and then I found myself shuffling the Golden Tarot deck by Cat Black. So that's what we're getting, is a bonus Golden Tarot card. So here is a bonus card for the energy of the week. And let's see what we get. Flip. Oh, look at this. Okay, 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords, let's put it upright. You can see, oh, there it is. So sad, so difficult. So there's this poor person full of swords. And this is a Renaissance themed deck. Let's see if I can get this in focus. There we go. Okay, so you can see this looks like an extremely painful thing to have happen. And above it is this barking black dog. And we can think of the idea of like people who have black dogs, like their demons or their depression that haunts them. And the black dog is barking and barking and barking. So if this is the oracle card, which is upside down, like, don't let the black dog command your week. The 10 of Swords can look like horrible betrayal, like you're at the end, like ultimate defeat. But we know it's the end of a cycle, and in fact, it's a cycle you've been working very hard to end. And although your new results haven't shown yet, perhaps, maybe the harvest here of the 7 of Pentacles hasn't shown yet, but it is coming. So don't let this black dog of depression or comparison or jealousy harass you, because you are at the end of the cycle where you need to measure yourself by those standards. You've set up a new set of standards for yourself. You've decided a new set of things you care about, and you're going to need to cling to those. And you're probably going to need to cling to them kind of hard, because I think the social situations this week may be challenging. The good news is when you see yourself gliding over that tightrope, you are going to realize how far you've come and what amazing skills you have gained through this process. And that is going to be a wonderful feeling, because if you felt at the beginning of the week that, oh, maybe I don't really deserve these things I want, or maybe I'm just not making it, when you see the progress you've made with your internal development, you're going to realize the 9 of Cups, your wish card, is well deserved. You really do deserve your wishes to come true, because you've done an awful lot of work to get there. And hopefully your conduct is going to be an inspiration and a support to other people around you. So hang on. I think, the moving and shaking is calming down, but the aftermath is still there, and we are still being called upon to cope so that we can get to those beautiful flowers. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.